PK Kemsley just filed a declaration under oath claiming Dorit used their 10-year-old daughter Phoenix to text him demanding money for a spring break vacation. And then, through a mutual friend, Dorit allegedly demanded $100,000 and told PK that if he didn't pay, she would play dirty games, expose private information about him publicly, ruin his reputation, and damage his relationship with his girlfriend. These aren't rumors. These are court filings obtained by TMZ with text messages attached. And attorney Ronald Richards posted the full breakdown on Instagram, calling it a bombshell and accusing Dorit of extortion. So let's go through the texts, the declaration, and what this actually means. Because this divorce just went from messy to potentially criminal. Let's get into it. Starting with the Phoenix texts. Court documents show a text exchange between PK and his daughter where Phoenix asked her dad to book a spring break vacation. She wrote, "Why can't you just book us a holiday? Mommy pays for everything." PK responded, "How do you know who pays for everything, my love?" He then asked why she wouldn't come on holiday with him, and Phoenix said, "I would love to go on a holiday with you, but for spring break, I want to go with mommy. I already went to Palm Springs with you. It's mommy's turn. Can you just pay and book us a flight?" Now on the surface, that reads like a kid caught in the middle of a divorce, doing what kids do, asking their dad for something their mom told them to ask for. But in his declaration, PK framed it much more seriously. He said, "The petitioner has involved our children in our financial disputes. While I was attempting to address financial issues with the petitioner, she enlisted our daughter to send text messages to me requesting money for the petitioner's personal expenses, including a trip she wanted to take with the children." He called it deeply troubling and said it further underscores the petitioner's refusal to engage in direct responsible communication and her use of the children as intermediaries. Whether you think PK is overreacting or whether you think Dorit genuinely coached Phoenix to send those texts, that's for the court to decide. But the fact that text messages between a father and his 10-year-old daughter are now part of a legal filing, that tells you how ugly this has gotten. Now let's get to the $100,000 demand. Justin Levine, a longtime mutual friend of both Dorit and PK, filed a separate declaration describing a phone call he had with Dorit in early April. He said he called her to try to mediate and help them reach an agreement on the house before the foreclosure got worse. But instead of a calm discussion, Levine says Dorit became highly agitated before he could even finish explaining why he was calling. He described the conversation as notably different in both tone and intensity from anything he'd experienced with her before. Levine alleges that Dorit then instructed him to write down her demands and relay them directly to PK. The demands were two $50,000 payments, $100,000 total, for the children's expenses and the spring break trip. And according to Levine, Dorit made it clear that if those demands were not met, she would disclose private information about PK publicly. She allegedly called them dirty games and said the payments would prevent her from going down that road. She also reportedly said the information she could share would harm PK's current girlfriend. When Levine confronted Dorit about PK's claim that she spent nearly $1 million on luxury goods, her response was that the spending was necessary for her career, that she had contractual requirements with Bravo that justified those expenditures. But here's the problem with that defense. Ronald Richards already addressed it in his Instagram post. He said Bravo's contracts and Dorit's own under oath discovery responses confirm that none of her wardrobe spending is required by the network. Bravo does not mandate that its cast members spend $1 million on designer clothing. That's a choice. And trying to frame it as a job requirement doesn't hold up when the court documents say otherwise. Richards also posted that Dorit told PK he had no right to look into her finances and threatened to take action if he continued reviewing them. Richards called that response clueless on discovery in a divorce, noting that both parties are legally required to submit financial disclosures. You can't tell your ex-husband he's not allowed to look at the money when a judge is specifically asking both of you to show the money. And here's the part that pulls it all together. Dorit earned over $3.5 million. She spent 53% of that on her family. She spent over $100,000 a month on personal expenses, averaging $102,000 $367 per month over 26 months. She made 0 mortgage payments on the home she's living in. The home is set for auction on May 20th. The LLC that owns it has been suspended by the tax board, and now she's allegedly using her daughter as a financial intermediary and threatening dirty games if PK doesn't send cash. PK is not innocent in all of this. His net cash flow is $40,000. He borrows money to maintain his own lifestyle. He's renting at $16,500 a month. Both of them are financially drowning, but only one of them is allegedly threatening the other with exposure, and only one of them is allegedly putting their children in the middle of it. Pop off in the comments, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!